What's a good word, everyone? It's your boy DKB here. I just want to say thanks for all the support. The channel's been steadily growing, and the number you see below, you can drop a text, shoot a voicemail, any ideas, topics, collabs, etc. you guys want to see. I'll include them in future videos and live streams, and I'll catch you again. Be easy. What's the good word, Jets fans? It's your boy DKB here, and today we're breaking down another member of the 2025 New York Jets undrafted free agent class with a very unique player that either is positionless or plays all of the positions depending on how you view him in Florida's edge, Ja'Markis Weston. And realistically, he's going to be a special teams ace, maybe an all-star. I don't want to put this out there for him, but realistically, this is what you expect to be kind of like a Justin Hardy type player for what he's going to be. There's a role, there's a place on all 32 teams for someone like Ja'Markis Weston. And I know, realistically speaking here, not a ton of people are going to care about special teams. I would even argue a lot of people don't necessarily care about like the third string unit, right? It's all about the starters and the key depth backup guys. And then maybe further along when you talk about certain teams and personnel groupings, etc., that tend to play lower ranking guys to get them experience, or that's just part of their philosophy, etc. But with Ja'Markis Weston, you kind of have a hidden gem on your hands here. 6'2", 235 pounds. He signed one of the larger contracts from UDFA that you're going to see this cycle with the $200,000 guaranteed contract. Former 3-star recruit, although I've seen some rankings that had him as like somewhere just slightly above like the 600 ranked prospect overall. So I don't think that necessarily equates to a 3rd star, but for, sanity's sake, we'll go with that. Played 4 positions during his 6 years with Florida. Started off as a receiver from 2019 to about 2021 before transitioning to safety in 2022, linebacker in 2023, and then wrapping up 2024 as an edge player. He's realistically a special teams ace gunner. So head coach Billy Napier that took over the team, I want to say somewhere back in about 2022 potentially. He mentioned this guy is one of the best special teams players in the country. He has an NFL future as a core special teams player. And I think you see that pretty clearly just based on the lack of stats and really game time overall if it wasn't for special teams. But also he just put up really impressive numbers for what a special teams individual would be asked to do. He was an ace gunner for Florida, but he also played as a blocker on both return units. He was a kick returner during some of the years that he played receiver, and he earned a 67.9 special teams grade in 2024. And I don't have anything from a comparison standpoint off the top of my head about how impressive that number would be, but to support that in some other manners, right? He played 608 total snaps on special teams, which is insane. And also to, kind of keep you guys in the loop, we've talked about a handful of players already that have had 200-300 special team snaps, which seemed pretty impressive. There was another individual that had somewhere around 525-ish snaps. So this is, you're talking about him getting more experience on special teams than many draftable players have gotten in one season at whatever position they're playing at. Also, 10 of his 16 career tackles as a whole, you're talking about the 6 years he's been in college, those have come in either the punt or kick return coverage unit. So he wrapped up 2024 with 9 tackles, with 1 tackle for loss, 1 sack, and 1 forced fumble. Again, with him playing as a edge in 2024. But this is also a combine warrior. When I tell you guys, there are just certain people that are built different in this world. Weston is one of them. Ja'Markis has some very tantalizing stats that have been put out there. So apparently he's been clocked at going somewhere between 22.5 and 23 miles per hour, which Arian Smith was one of those guys during the breakdown. I quoted as going 23, and he's about 30 to 40-ish pounds heavier. He's run somewhere between a 4.44 at about 230-ish pounds. He squats 605. He Bench presses, I couldn't get this number confirmed necessarily, but somewhere between 425 pounds and 525 pounds. To let you know how insane that is, there were a handful of you that wanted us to pick up Desmond Watson, the ridiculously sized defensive tackle, also from Florida, that weighed somewhere as high as 460-ish pounds. I think he's hovering around like 420 something now, after dropping 25 pounds since entering the league already, between combine events and such and now, right? He could basically bench press Desmond Watson. That is insanity in my mind. One of the unique, drop it in the comment if you're still sticking around at this point and you're hearing this. Apparently, he developed this natural strength from his mother, who was able to bench press 350 pounds in high school. Again, insanity. I topped out being able to bench press 225 once in high school, and I thought I was the man of the year after that point. I couldn't imagine trying to hit 350. So that's pretty much the book on him, right? There's nothing to really break down in terms of what he did as a receiver, what he did as a safety, linebacker, edge, because I really don't feel like he's going to see much playing time at any of those positions as well. But it also comes with a couple caveats, I would say. For one, I did see an interview where he was asked about maybe not fulfilling the promise coming into the college ranks as at least a athletically gifted wide receiver before converting to other positions and such. And he essentially mentioned that he wasn't fully bought in and focused on doing whatever he needed to do to fulfill those expectations, but he feels like essentially he lived up to those by cutting his teeth in special teams. Because he's also kind of this positionless player, it also opens up a little bit of roster flexibility if he is a guy that you feel like needs to make the team, right? He's just so good that it's worth him not necessarily seeing the field as a defensive or offensive player, as long as he's making those plays on special teams. And I feel like there was another point that I was going with that. But yeah, essentially, I think there's a lot of nuance that you have to consider with someone like Ja'Markis Weston. He also offers, at least at the very, very least, for people that don't want to go in that direction of saving a roster spot for somebody that'll only be contributing on special teams. But there is at least the athletic opportunity to say that you can hope with some coaching, maybe he can come in, every once in a blue moon, contribute, not be a major problem area, and go from there. But let me know what you guys think. Ja'Markis Weston out of Florida, special teams demon. Maybe this is the perfect kind of guy to lead this new age special teams unit under Chris Banjo. And I'll catch you guys again. Peace.